What's up guys, it's Dangeross here. We're gonna do a quick rust spray control tutorial. So fasten your seatbelts, here we go. In my opinion, these are the 3 keys to rust spray control. First, lower your mouse DPI. Mouse DPI, also referred to as mouse sensitivity, is your mouse speed, aka how fast your cursor moves. Mouse DPI can be adjusted in your rust settings and usually through your mouse manufacturer's software. The mouse I use is Logitech G703, so I adjust it through the Logitech software. Ultimately, lower mouse DPI makes you more consistent with the rust gun sprays, so you potato less often on that full gear and break less shit on your desk. Second, use more arm and less wrist. The general consensus among pro gamers is that arm control in conjunction with low mouse DPI is best. It allows for more consistent muscle memory and allows you to flick your aim from any position, which is difficult for wrist players since their wrist might already be abducted or adducted, especially when going into corners and so on. For those of you who don't know what the fuck that means, it means that you can't move your wrist as well as your arm. Move your wrist around, just your wrist, then move your arm around. You see what I mean? Also, over time, gaming can take its toll on your wrist and can lead to a myriad of different medical complications like carpal tunnel syndrome, which is normally the result of compression on the median nerve as it passes through the wrist. In fact, the #1 most common injury seen in both professional and casual gamers is a repetitive wrist strain injury. TLDR, this shit is serious. Unfortunately, most of you who have the good fortune to stumble upon this video will not take this seriously. And of course, none of this shit matters until it does, but by then it's probably too late. Those of you who follow me on Instagram already know that I'm not just blowing smoke, but take health and wellness seriously. One of my goals in starting this channel is to help affect positive change in the gaming culture with emphasis on health and wellness. So I hope this gets through to at least a few of you. The third key is to practice and aim train servers. This is perhaps the most obvious but hardest to actually do. We all just want to jump right into a server and start smacking around some kids who probably deserve it. But maybe they are nice and volunteer at their local church. Extremely unlikely if they are playing Rust, but I digress. The point is, practice takes discipline. Shooting at bots, or God forbid targets, is less exciting than real Rust PvP. However, it is critical if you want to get better at Rust. The recoil of the guns in Rust are difficult to control, and it takes time and repetition to build the muscle memory required to get them down. If you only play real Rust, your improvement will be very slow and you will likely never get the reps required to actually get good with in-game weapons. This is especially true the more vanilla the server is. In fact, if you are new at Rust and want to stay bad, only play on vanilla servers and never aim train. You will grind the whole day to finally get your hands on an AK, just to lose it in your first fight, because you can't hit that full gear with his back to you at 15 meters. He'll then spin around, shoot you in the face, take all your shit, and proceed to ridicule you the next 2.5 hours in all chat, saying you're a baddie and you should uninstall Rust. And if you've watched this tutorial, and done exactly what I've said not to do, and you lost that gear set to that dude, you're a baddie. So now that you are going to aim train and actually get good with these guns, here are 3 practice tips. Start close at 25 meters. Work solely on the recoil pattern. Once that has become second nature and you can hit around 80% of your shots, then incorporate strafing left and right, and then different patterns. Remember that practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect, and that goes for everything in life. The whole purpose of practice is to simplify the environment so you can focus on a particular skill until that skill becomes second nature and you no longer have to dedicate conscious attention to it. This is just another reason why you will stay bad if you only play real Rust. Trying to keep track of where all the enemies are, your teammates, while trying to manage your inventory, while trying to med and loot, while trying to think about the recoil pattern of whatever gun you are using so that you can control it, is virtually impossible. There are just too many things to think about. The game of Rust is constantly creating complicated, ever-changing scenarios that demand conscious thought. The guns in Rust are actually one of the few things that are the same every time, which is why with practice, you can train your muscles to memorize all the recoil patterns. I'll leave you with a few last thoughts. Aim train does not equal real Rust. No matter how much you aim train, the feeling you experience after looting an M2 out of the hilly crate but are now pinned down by the last 2 goons of the fight, and the only way you are taking that bad boy home to roof camp with is if you kill them both, which is going to require very precise sprays at 55 meters, is not the same as shooting at a 55 meter target. For one thing, you have a dangerous amount of adrenaline coursing through your body, and the stress/pressure of even holding the most powerful gun in Rust, much less shooting it accurately enough to kill 2 dudes who would blood sacrifice their firstborns just to get their grimy hands on the weapon you are holding, while your teammates are shouting, "Don't die, don't die," is unfortunately going to reduce your performance. The only way to get better at these situations is to get better teammates. HU and Trowsy Posty, hit me up when you want to play. After you feel good on aim train servers, progress to combat servers like Belkers and then modded servers. Contrary to popular Rust belief, vanilla Rust can actually be extremely detrimental to your PvP progression. Modded servers will allow you to get more higher tier weapons faster so that you can practice real high octane Rust situations like the M21 previously described. If you found this helpful or it gave you something to think about, feel free to throw a like or comment below. If you absolutely hated it and never want to see another one of my videos, the best way to do that is by subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Broke the game.